What's up, YouTube? This is Dell. Welcome to Dell on Movies. If you've been here before, welcome back. Thanks for coming back and spending some more time with me. Let's just get right to it. What we're talking about today is Ice Cube. If you're watching this on the date of this release, it is his birthday, and yes, I got my Ice Cube shirt on. It is his birthday, so I figured what better way to wish him a happy birthday than talk about all the movies that I have of his in my collection. I'm going to rank them because that's kind of what I do. I'm a list guy. And before I get into the list, I do want to talk about a movie that I don't have. And that first one that I don't, the one that I don't have is Anaconda. It's a really fun movie, and it definitely would have placed. I wouldn't say really high on the list, but it would have been probably in the top 10. I do like that movie. It's fun, it's dumb, it's goofy, but yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with just having a blast watching it. So I did want to mention that one. It's just not in the collection. I don't know why. One of these days I'll come across it and snatch it up. Another couple of movies I do want to mention that I do have, but I'm not ranking. And therefore, the reason is he doesn't really have much of a role in it. He pops in for a cameo and then disappears. And the first one is CB4. It's one of the best hip hop movies ever made. Definitely one of the best hip hop spoofs ever made. Um, Ice Cube pops in is basically in a mockumentary style, a lot of it, and he pops in to say a few words about CB4. And ironically, of course, it's really a spoof of NWA. Uh, I really love this movie. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and check it out. And then the other one that I did want to mention, and I take that back. I don't have another one to mention that I didn't. Oh, I do. That I do. This one. Triple X. The Return of Xander Cage. This was the third Triple X movie. Ice Cube pops in at the very end because he was in the second movie, and we'll get to that second one soon enough. So I didn't rank either one of those movies, but let's go ahead and get right into what I am ranking. I've got 18 movies here to rank, guys. So let's just get started with it. Number coming in at number 18 is going to be Are We Done Yet? This is the sequel to Are We There Yet? And I didn't like this movie. This movie was kind of painful for me. I'm not the hugest fan of the first movie, and you'll see where I rank it soon enough. And this one was just not really my cup of tea at all. First thing is the writing on it was pretty bad. John C. McGinley was really the star of the movie right here, and not really Ice Cube, and he just kind of just did a lot of goofy stuff that I didn't find funny. If you found it funny, then you probably love this movie. And the other thing is, of course, I'm a huge fan of Nia Long, and they just sidelined her for most of the movie, so not my cup of tea. So that one is number 18. Coming up at number 17 is going to be that other Triple X movie that Ice Cube was in, State of the Union. He took over for Vin Diesel when Vin Diesel was out, and it's an okay action flick. Got to see Ice Cube be a tough guy and do a lot of crazy stuff. Not my favorite of his, but it's fine. Coming up at number 16 is Are We There Yet? The first movie to Are We Done Yet? The sequel. This one again, it's fine. It's cute, a little rom com where Ice Cube gets into a lot of craziness and talks to the bobblehead and that sort of thing. Nothing I hate on, but nothing I really return to a lot. It's just a cute movie. That brings us right up to number 15. At number 15, a movie that I think it's also fine, but I'd say obviously I like it a little bit better than Are We There Yet? And that is Fist Fight. That is Fist Fight. Lots of good chemistry actually between him and between Ice Cube and Charlie Day, so they have a really good time with it. And then it ends up by the end. I was a little underwhelmed at the end, but Ice Cube plays a history teacher who's not too pleased with what's going on in the school overall, and definitely not happy with Charlie Day's character. So it's a fun one to watch. Get to see Ice Cube scowl around, and his persona makes him kind of a really good really good straight man for a lot of comedies. If so you'll notice most of these movies are comedies. That just takes us right to number 14. So number 14, where he's a straight man once again. This one is Ride Along 2 with him and Kevin Hart. It's got some really funny moments. It kind of drags in some spots. It's not as funny in some spots, but overall, I like the movie. So Kevin Hart has most of the best moments in it, but Ride Along 2 comes in at number 14. That takes us to number 13, and number 13 is the last of the Barbershop movies, Barbershop The Next Cut. Let's see if we can get it to pick up there a little bit better. I think that works. All right, so Barbershop The Next Cut is the third movie in the franchise, and it's probably the one that got the most heartfelt message in it. So it's not a bad movie at all. It's got the best message in it. Ice Cube's a little bit more to the sideline, and a lot of the side characters get to take over. In this case, Nicki Minaj's character, Common's character, and of course his son, and Cedric the Entertainer's always a big part. And yeah, all of these guys are all in the background. They all have, their little subplots going on. So Ice Cube's a little more to the sideline in that movie, but it's still a fun time. That brings me up to number 12. Number 12 is a movie that came just before that in the franchise. That is Barbershop 2. So Barbershop 2, what I like about this one, it felt even more like a community, even more like a what happens in a real barbershop. And then of course we had the salon going on next door with Queen Latifah, and that spun off into Beauty Shop, which Ice Cube's not in, but Beauty Shop is a pretty good movie also. So Barbershop 2 is also where Cedric the Entertainer kind of took over the movie, and it was a really fun time. So I really enjoyed Barbershop 2. That brings me to number 11. At number 11, it will be The Players Club is number 11. Now, this one is, if I ever do a list about movies about strippers, this will be on that list, I'm sure. It's a lot of fun movie that's introduced us to Lisa Ray. Bernie Mac stole every scene he was in. Jamie Foxx is in it, but honestly not all that memorable in this movie. Ice Cube has more of a bit part. He's really a secondary character in the movie. He's not, but he did produce it. Did he direct this one? Yeah, he actually wrote and directed this one. And it's a big fun. It's a cautionary tale, and check it out if you haven't seen it. That's going to take us into the top 10. And if you notice, so far we hadn't talked about any of the movies in this franchise, but coming in at number 10 is going to be the second Friday movie, Next Friday. So for me, this is the worst of the franchise, but it's still a good movie, still fun, still like it. This introduced Mike Epps to the franchise. I'm not the biggest Mike Epps fan, but in the Friday movies, he's really good. Clifton Powell, of course, is Pinky. Really stole the show when he was in it. And then we had all the goings on between Ice Cube and the neighbors. Don D.C. Curry was the uncle. It was a really good time. Like I said, not my favorite of the three movies, but still I enjoyed a lot, and a lot of memorable scenes in that one. Taking us to number 9 is the first movie in the Barbershop series, Barbershop. This one, it probably the most wholesome movie Ice Cube has done. The Barbershop series as a whole is really the most wholesome thing Ice Cube has done as far as family friendly goes. And it's just a really nice story about Ice Cube and all the people that work at the barbershop. Cedric the Entertainer again steals the show. Eve also is really good in this movie. Michael Ealy shows up. He's really good in this movie. Anthony Anderson has some funny scenes. So if you haven't seen Barbershop, give it a go. And that's going to take us up to number 8. Number 8 is the first Ride Along movie, and that yellow is not really working here. It's not picking up. There we go. So Ride Along with Kevin Hart. This first one is better than the second one. Got a lot of funny scenes in this movie and a lot of action, really good action, comedy, buddy cop movie. It works for all of those genres, both genres. Cube again, he gets to be the tough guy, straight guy here, and Kevin Hart gets all the jokes, and it works out really well. That takes me to number seven. Number seven is a movie my brother and I went to see. My brother Doug, shout out to Doug. We went to see this in the theater years ago, and we just had a blast watching this movie. And it combines him with another great rapper turned actor, Mr. Ice-T. This one is Trespass, not the Nicolas Cage Trespass that came out a few years back. This is Trespass again. Ice Cube and Ice-T, they're both kind of gangster characters, and we got Bill Paxton and William Sadler. They're on the opposite side of things. They're not good guys. They're just on the opposite side of things. Everybody's trying to find this money. I believe they're trying to find this money that's in this building, this abandoned building. So it's a really good action thriller type movie. A lot of people haven't seen this one, so check it out if you have not. That takes us up to number six. Number six is going to be a reboot of a TV series, and this was 21 Jump Street. Ice Cube gets to play the police chief or the captain. Of course, we got Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill as the buddy cops, and they're hilarious. And if you remember the TV show, if any of you older remember the TV show, it wasn't really a comedy. I know there were some funny moments, introduced the world of Johnny Depp and Holly Robinson Pete, but it wasn't really a comedy. It was kind of a serious thing. They were taking kind of serious, but this movie realized that premise was kind of silly. We got all these adults infiltrating high school, trying to look young and act young. So this movie takes that premise, realizes it's kind of silly, and just runs with it and has a blast with it, and it's really a fun movie to watch. That takes me down to number five. At number five, we're going to have Friday After Next. So Friday After Next is the third movie in the Friday franchise, and it is a Christmas movie. And for me, it's one of my favorite Christmas movies. I have a blast watching it. Every year around Christmas time, we usually watch it. And it's just a blast to watch. Terry Crews is really good in this movie. Cat Williams has a big part in this movie. Coming in at number four is going to be the sequel to 21 Jump Street, and that is 22 Jump Street. In this movie, Ice Cube got more of a chance to shine. He gets to be the angry black captain, which he even talked about that stereotype in the first one in 21 Jump Street. In this movie, it goes a little bit further into that. He gets one of the funniest scenes, or two of the funniest scenes actually, when he finds out that I don't want to spoil it, but it's a wild movie. It's a movie that's pretty old by now, a few years back. But it involves his daughter. It involves his daughter and one of the guys here. So he gets two of the funniest scenes in the movie, and the movie as a whole, I find it just to be a little bit better than 21 Jump Street. So if you haven't seen either of those movies, definitely you can make that a double feature and have a bunch of laughs. So go ahead and check that one out. Moving into my top three, at number three, it is John Singleton's Higher Learning. Now, Higher Learning is, I think, unfairly forgotten. It was the third John Singleton movie after Poetic Justice. He did Higher Learning, which reunited him with Ice Cube. And it's more of an ensemble piece here. It's about the goings-on at a university. A lot of it has to deal with race. Michael Rappaport is in this, has a great role, and he's definitely a person you love to hate. And it's an explosive finale involving Michael Rappaport's character. So if you have not seen Higher Learning, definitely give this a look. Like I said, it's been unfairly forgotten. A lot of people talk about, when they talk about John Singleton movies or Ice Cube movies, they talk about a lot of his other stuff, but they don't mention this one so often. So definitely give it a look. Omar Epps is also in here, and Tyra Banks. I forgot about that. Omar Epps and Tyra Banks are both in here. They play a couple. It's a really good movie, so you definitely give that one a shot. Now, my top two movies, I can switch them up. I went back and forth on which one I want number one, which one I want number two. I switch them up. One is definitely a lot more fun than the other one. Um, but so they're different kinds of movies, but it was no doubt that these were going to be the top two. It's just a matter of which order they were in. And in the end, I decided that the number two movie coming in at number two is going to be Friday. Friday is definitely the more fun movie of the top two. Is one of the most quotable movies of all time. I don't know how many times I've seen it, how many times it's been playing in my house. A lot of times, like I said, I've watched it a lot of times. I've watched it a lot of times with my family. I've come home and seen my family watching it on their own a lot of times. So Friday is definitely one of a household favorite here. And I know some of you, when I say kids, I don't mean really kids. Right now, my kids they're all grown. But over the years, pretty much started when they were teenagers, we watched this movie a lot. So Friday gets my number two spot. Chris Tucker, he as Smokey, of course, he steals the show, steals every scene that he's in. Ice Cube has lots of great scenes. John Witherspoon, rest in peace, is great as the dad. So and lots of quotable stuff. Sometimes we'll walk around and you'll hear somebody quote something from that movie, whether it's me here in this house or just out somewhere else. So it's one of the all-time greats as far as I'm concerned. Friday. And at least at number one, the only other possible choice for me, and that is John Singleton's first movie, and that's Boys in the Hood. And yeah, this is a steelbook for all my collector friends out there. This is not a 4K, this is a regular Blu-ray, but hey, I love it. Nonetheless, it looks great. So Boys in the Hood is one of the, for me, it's one of the most important movies. Not necessarily, not only is it one of the best movies, it's one of the most important movies. And Cube did a great job as Doughboy. Tragic ending, of course, for just about everybody involved. Most people involved, not everybody. So it's a almost, well, it is 30 years old movie, 30-year-old movie. So I don't think I'm spoiling anything when I say there's tragedy involved with these two characters for sure, and really heartfelt movie. Of course, this introduced the world to Cuba Gooding Jr. I know if you were really paying attention, if you watched Coming to America, which was a few years before this, Cuba Gooding is a kid sitting in the barber chair, but this was the one where we really got to see him act for the first time. And of course, he did a great job, but it's Lawrence Fishburne, to me, that's always made this movie. Lawrence Fishburne's character, Furious Styles, is the father of Cuba Gooding's character, and he always makes the movie. And then, of course, Cube delivers the hard-hitting punch towards the end of the movie when he gives his speech right before the credits roll at the end. So there you have it. Boys in the Hood is my number one Ice Cube movie of all time. I've went through a whole stack of here, so thanks for hanging out. If you watched the whole video, like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye.